close relationship with missing persons and maybe some violent activities. Yes, you just have scenarios where no one knows exactly what happened. It's almost as though the person just disappeared from the face of the earth, just gone. But in the past 2 weeks, past 2-3 weeks in Port Harcourt, in a fortnight or so in Port Harcourt, there have been several cases, reported cases of missing persons. Now, I use the term reported loosely because investigations, personnel, into these cases reveal that some of those reports that you get to have read or you hear, on social media were not formally reported to the police. So I start off this morning by asking that, please, if you think or if you suspect that a friend of yours, a family member, likely is missing because you can't find him or her, you don't know of his whereabouts, make a formal complaint to the police. Please, make a formal complaint to the police. Now, having said that, we have to talk about how communities can be harnessed to help investigations of missing people. Now, recently, I don't know if you got that story of some young girls who were, reported missing in Port Harcourt, who escaped the hands of their, kidnappers. And then I think it was late last year, there was a girl who was reported missing. In fact, she was missing for about, a week or two. And then finally she escaped from her captors. Remember that story? It was reported here. She escaped. She found a way, jumped from the back. She was in the bush and she, went to someone's house who then brought her to the police and indeed to the public's attention that, oh, look, this person you're looking for, I have found her. She ran away. So the question has to be asked, what exactly should communities do? How can these communities be harnessed to help investigations of missing people? Because someone made mention that, look, the police is overwhelmed. They're not everywhere. They cannot, even in the US, they cannot be everywhere at the same time. I don't know of any country that has the financial power, for a large country to put one policeman on every street in that country. I don't know of any state on this planet. I don't know. So there has to be another way to help with investigations, particularly when it concerns something as dire as the life of another individual. A few years ago, someone who was recounting her experience, her ordeal with kidnappers within the Niger Delta region, made a comment that where they were taken to, they could hear people cook. They could hear people carry out their day-to-day activities. In fact, in some cases, they even walked past some people going to farms, so they knew them. But it was almost as though those communities were, in quotes, either in agreement or a certain level of nonchalance was expressed. We're talking about missing persons. Once again, my question is this. How can these communities, whether it is in your Rumosi small community or all the way down, in Ogbakri, there has to be a way to get people to take lives more seriously, particularly lives of young children. My name is Jude. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hello Port Harcourt. Please do well, turn down the volume of your radio set, refrain from making derogatory comments. Please do not make comments that will be seen as inciting. The numbers to call 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007. WhatsApp and Telegram available on 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. At Nigeria Info PH, is where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Now, this message came in earlier. It says, good morning. Missing person cases and kidnapping is on the high side in River State. The rate of tinted vehicles in River State is too much, and the police is after taking money and don't check what or who is inside. That's Douglas. Now, Douglas, this issue of the reason I had to mark this message so we can talk about is this. Now, this tint permit is one of those issues that have been long running for years. There was a time, sadly, when some members of Nigeria, some officers of the police would accost Nigerians and then extort from them because of their tinted windows. Now, some cars have tints for a variety of reasons. I'll probably say maybe 3 or 4 very cogent reasons. But primarily, most cars, or some cars that have tints because of privacy. You have a right to privacy. You honestly have a right to privacy. And then there's also the concern about light. For those of you, I have a friend who has a bit of photophobia, right? Bright light affects her when she drives. So she wears sunglasses a lot, right? But sometimes the sunglasses are uncomfortable. So in some cases, I don't know if you've seen the windshield of some cars, you see probably like a third of the windshield has a tinted font on it. That's to reduce the amount of rays that come in whilst they are driving. So for such people, having tints is going to be the best way for them to enjoy the driving their cars that they bought their money with. All over the world, particularly in the US, right? You have a right to tint your vehicle, maybe for fashion, to look cool and suave. You know, in modern terms, it's called blackout. Murder out the car, man. Yeah, great. But Douglas has a very great question. Like, okay, fine. Let's agree that you've tinted your vehicles, and as far as I know, the police are not meant to stop you to ask for any in quote tint permit, right? But they do have a right to say, excuse me, young man or young woman, whoever's driving, could you take the windows down? Let us see what's behind. Open your trunk. I know in recent days and weeks, a lot of people have been very upset. Everybody's trying to talk about their rights. But look, let's not forget the police does have a right to have a stop and search. They have a right to stop and search. So please, when they stop you and they say, hey, look, please just do so. It's not 1-2 minutes, is not going to take you, too long. Where the problem is or arises is when, okay, some level of extortion is, being carried out. But if you just stop and search, let the police do that job. I personally please, you want to, please search. Search, please. Moving on, we're talking about missing persons in Port Harcourt in particular. How can communities be harnessed to help with investigations like this? If you've ever had a family member go missing, you understand the concern and the discontentment that tends to arise during such cases. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007. Good morning, Jude. This is Jude from Choba. One of the reasons people refuse to go to the police, Jude, is because when you go, they will ask you to pay them fuel money. Really? Like, you have a genuine complaint. Well, it's not unusual. I don't think it's really unusual, but if you were to report that, okay, your child is missing, this is a child, or your husband or your wife or your sister is missing, this is a serious issue. And let's be honest, the police are not going to go out, in a vehicle and start to go around everywhere looking for the child. But then for them to ask for, in quote, fuel money, that doesn't sit right. Doesn't sit right at all. More messages now. 009-030-64 16. Good morning, Jude. These cases of missing people, particularly girls, is very worrisome. What exactly are they doing with these girls? Why are they taking young girls in Port Harcourt? Well, the same question was asked a few years ago, when once again it was females that were reportedly missing. If you remember, there's a story of a lady who claimed she was taking one chances and everything, and then when she escaped, she said, oh, she was taken to one community, and then she saw them and she ran away. She was able to escape them and things like that. So I don't know. I really don't know why it's women. I don't know. I really don't know. Promise is on the line. Let's get to hear from Promise. Promise is speaking to us from Rumudumaya. Good morning, Promise.
Yeah, good morning, Jude.
Good morning, please.
Yeah, this case of missing people, Jude, I think if you ask me, I would say a man's enemy are members of his household.
Interesting.
First of all, let's start the traces from the family, the relations, the community, because before someone will get missing, I think something is wrong somewhere. It's not far from him or her. Then let's also check the business life of that person. If there's any form of betrayal, because you don't just blame the people that are making these people to get missing or so. What is making them to get missing? What's the reason as well? Because most persons involve themselves in so many things.
But what about? Promise. What about? Because if you look at some of the reports, all right, of missing persons, they are young girls. Which business would a 14-year-old girl be doing, or a 10-year-old girl, or even the student? There was a student that was missing a while ago. What business would she be doing that would require somebody to come and carry her because did she make 1 billion?
Yes, in this area you're talking about now. See, this one now is so surprising too. You understand? But let's also trace the family. Go back to the family. It's not far from that particular child also. You understand? A man's enemies are members of his household. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Well, you get to hear these comments. WhatsApp now 009-030-6416 009-030-6416. We need more people to be aware of their environment where they go. I always like to advise my friends, if you're going out, tell at least 2 or 3 persons where you're going to. And if you're in a vehicle and you don't feel certain, make it obvious that you're making a complaint or you're sending a message so that they know that if they take you, people are going to definitely look for you. All right, safety tips. But once again, what about the communities? The focus is on the communities. Hello, Port Harcourt returns after the break. this morning, for this hour, has to do with missing persons reports. Now, I'm going to share with you some of the comments that have come through, from the earlier hours of this morning concerning this conversation. And it's one that I had to say, it doesn't sit well with a lot of people. There were instances in the past in the US when, investigations proved that some of these people who were missing were either victims of a serial killer or a serial rapist or something, whatever it is. But here in Port Harcourt, remember there was that period when females would turn up dead in hotels, and it didn't become a national issue. It became an international issue because that story was reported on several news platforms all across the world, because it didn't come out as regular for that kind of thing to be happening in Nigeria, and in particular in Port Harcourt. Now, it's the case of missing persons. And it's frightening, it's worrying. It's worrying now because people are not comfortable going out to work. People are worried about sending their young children on errands. Last year, my memory serves me right, or a couple of years ago, remember that story of a group of children who were taken away from their homes by someone who just came and pretend to look for a house, and then carted them away. So there needs to be a little bit more concern from the neighbors, aka those who are around you, aka your community. So how can it be honest? That is our conversation. Tom is speaking to us from Omagwa. Good morning to you, Tom. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning, please.
Yes. Morning. I want to contribute for the talk this morning.
Go on, please.
Yes. You say, as a retired police officer, I worked in many places. Most of these kidnappings is from the members of a yard household. Yes, I know of many. The ones at Imo State, a girl was taken and hid in a next door neighbor, and the man who kidnapped this girl was helping to search for this girl while the girl is inside his own room. It is after some days that we discover that it was inside his boy's room. And this happened so many times. Even when I was serving at Aba, it happened in the same way. So that you check around the area where the person is living. Members of the household know about all those kidnappings. That's my contribution this morning.
Thank you very much, Tom, from Omagwa. Joseph is speaking to us from LMA. Joseph, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, Mr. Injury.
Good morning, Joseph.
So I want to lend my voice to the topic. You're talking about missing persons.
Yes, missing
children
persons.
or animals. There are several factors I could say animals. Like these children, some of them, their parents could have sold their hand or could have done fraudulent businesses or one thing or the other that could have prompted their enemy to go after their children. Some missing person could be a sort of maybe you came in contact with the wrong person, armed robber or ritualist. They could adopt you for ritual purpose, some for kidnapping and whatever it is. Last 2 years I was involved.
You were
back from church.
You were kidnapped 2 years
my
ago.
Door open, took bike, went out to get drugs because I was ill. I was down in the head. Got to the road. I was interrupted or intercepted or arrested or whatever word was suited by some of these hoodlums who pretended to be task force. It arrested me, intercepted me, took me to an undisclosed location in a bush. In fact, I was there in that bush till about 8:30 p.m. in the night. It was by God's intervention because controversy arose right there in the bush. There was a disagreement between these guys. I had to be brought to the POS stands to transfer money. This was where I escaped. And the following day, these guys, one of them was arrested. I'm telling you, 2 weeks later, he was released.
He was
He has been
released.
arrested in several occasions.
How do you know he was arrested
In
several
there, I
times?
see him around the street. So
Hello, Joseph.
when you talk about police knows them.
Hello,
They know the
Joseph.
location.
Joseph.
But I don't know how
Oh,
we
dear.
arrest this situation because it's beyond even our own control.
Joseph,
That
can
is
you
my
hear
own
me?
contribution.
Joseph, hello. Joseph.
Yeah.
Yes, you said one of the boys who kidnapped you was caught and released. And you said he was
Yes.
caught several
All
times.
the things that he took from me, the bike and everything, he was made to release. That is to be retrieved all, and he was released on bail.
Okay, all right, Joseph. Thank you very much. Not quite sure if you can hear me clearly, but I will ask this question of Jubilee. Mr. Jubilee is joining us later on in just about another 27 minutes, all things being equal. Jubilee Walker will be joining us later on, and we'll talk. We have a great conversation lined up for you, but I have to ask him this question. About releasing individuals who were caught, carrying out crimes, particularly crimes that ordinarily carry severe punishments. Right? We'll find out about that later on. Okay, now moving on, more comments. Okay, now good morning. Those reports of missing persons and another found dead in Port Harcourt is very shameful. Let the River State government and the security agencies swing into action by bringing these situations to a halt. These activities are demarketing the state lives. The state save our lives government. That's from Elder Joel Adolphus in Degema. Okay. The rate at which people are missing, killed or kidnapped is getting alarming. This is what usually happens after elections and when the do-or-die politicians couldn't retrieve guns from the thugs they armed before election. May God help save our students. That's Christian from Igbo. All right, interesting. Clement speaking to us from Ada George. Let's get to say hello to Clement this morning. Good morning, Clement.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us, please.
Yes, you see, like they will say, security is everybody's business. But I want to say that when parents have need to meet and neglect the aspect of the home front, things like this is inevitable. We also call on the police. Of course, you see, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, where the judge of the state, the chief justice of the state, or whoever released some persons from the prison and blame it on police, DPP, something like that. Now, what that tells me is that there are no rules of engagement in our security structure. Police don't know their work. That is the bottom line of what is going on now. You see, you arrest somebody, you do not charge a person to court. You do what you do at the police station, and then you release the person, and the person goes. Mr. Jude, let's tell ourselves the truth. We are in trouble, though.
Interesting.
Except we are using what is called cosmetic solution. You know when you see some makeup picture, the woman is ugly, then there's another side with before and after. When you remove that makeup, the woman goes back to the state that she is or he is. We've seen men like that too. Mr. Jude, this cosmetic solution to our security challenges will not help us. It's just temporary. But there is something harder inside our society that is eating us up, and we are covering it. We are covering it. Thank you.
All right, something hard that needs to be done, and it seems to be covered. That's the comment from the last caller, Clement, in Port Harcourt. Good morning, Jude. This is on WhatsApp. I think the government should engage hunters. They are capable of releasing useful information to the police and the public at large. Most kidnappers have their hideouts in the forest. Okay, that's not a bad idea. Well, people who go into forest to catch bushmeat and stuff like that, right? Okay, now I'm not sure if it's to shake my head or smile when I hear comments expressing surprise that women can be involved, including in the communities where victims are kept. Good and evil are not gender specific, and older females can be as diabolical in heart and behavior as younger ones. Then the assumption that they are all doing this out of need or lack is false. Some people, including women, who some look at and assume are responsible mothers, do it out of wickedness. Braid is speaking to us from Burukiri. Good morning to you, Braid.
Yeah, Jude, good morning.
Good morning, please.
Yes, for me, the security situation, the government has everything. They have everything they are doing to stop insecurity and criminality. And Tabacha said, any issues that last more than 24 hours, know that.
Hello, Braid. Oh dear. Hello. Braid. Yes, Braid. Good morning.
Yes, I said I'm quoting Abacha. He said if any insurgent lasts more than 24 hours, know that the government is in it. And why this government cannot solve, there won't be any solution. As we are today, the Army, the Air Force, the Navy has the solution. Let the government tell them to go ahead. And if your brother is in the military and he has been in the northern area, if he comes, there are some certain things he will tell you and it baffles you. And that is the kind of country we have found ourselves. What is going on in Rivers State today? I blame the Commissioner of Police.
How so?
He allowed this issue to play to this point.
Where people get missing?
After election, you don't allow any gathering anywhere. Under the watch of this Commissioner of Police.
But wait, hold on, Braid. Let me stop you because we're talking about missing persons now. We're not talking about cult clashes. We're talking about missing persons. The question, Braid, is how can communities be, harnessed to aid in, investigations? Because the police can be everywhere at every point in time.
Let me not go that way. I'm trying to go. If not, I'm trying to expatiate it. But let me go directly to where you're going. Even that. It's criminality. It's criminality that is causing it. It's part of this social vices that is causing the issue. And how to stop it? My dear brother, get the hunters, get the farmers.
Okay.
Brainstorm with them. Look, some of these hunters, they move to the camp of these kidnappers. But they keep their mouth shut because they are hunters. And as I speak with you, if we have CCTV camera put on a strategic area, it will also help.
Okay.
So the government should be very, very proactive and not reactive.
Ida is speaking to us from Nkoro. Good morning to you, Ida.
Jude, good morning, my brother.
Good morning, please.
My brother, this thing is not far from us. Most kidnapping victims, they keep them inside compound. Now, when you notice this thing now, you go to the police and report it to police. I'm telling you the truth. It happened to me, not kidnapping issue. Now, when they come to arrest the person, and money pass hand, now they will tell you, okay, now we'll tell you in a bag. Before it's not the thing like that, now they do the secret too. What do you think will happen to me? Not the kidnapper to come and kill me. That's why people keep their mouth shut. People, if you give them information, they keep that information. If they keep that secret, kidnapping issue will end. Kidnapping issue will end. Kidnapping, stealing, and all those things will end, my brother. But when you report to police, money pass and police will tell them, they will come after you before they start threatening you. They go and kill your mother. You start being on the running. So information matters a lot, and keep secret to secret. Everything will end. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. 923, good morning, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, please.
This is Mr. Kavo calling from Rumashi.
Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us in the conversation.
You see, it tells me a lot when we talk about issues concerning security. What is the primary functions of people we elect into government? And the family elect into government. But they don't ask that. That the poor can ask. What the maxi? What that I manipulating?
But that even rich politics, doesn't go when they go swat. Look, whites. We're talking about attack. We're talking about people who get missing, and we're particularizing it to Port Harcourt. People are scared of going beyond their street these days. Zion is in GRA. Good morning to you, Zion.
Good morning to you. Let me ask a question that will victimize some people here. You are living in number 32 Mr. Jude Street, right? What is your responsibility in that compound? Eat bath, go to work, go to church, pray, make noise, call radio station, That is very funny. Very funny reasons why people are living in this city. Yesterday, I told you something, and you say it's over-exaggeration. I said one policeman is enough to take charge of Port Harcourt City. And you say it's over-exaggeration. Share you and your office, I'm in my office. Are we not working? Do we need the police to come and secure us? No. You don't need it. If everybody has the same sensibility to be responsible, only one policeman is okay for us. Now look at it now. Community responsibility to avoid missing persons. People don't even know why they are living where they are living today in Port Harcourt. They don't know. What is your responsibility? See, is to report every movement, whether na your house or not be your house, na your compound, not be your compound. Report every issue. And this blame game on police will not help us. We see these things, don't speak. I stand to be challenged. No documentation in Nigeria or in Rivers State that will capture missing persons. No one.
Well, you are not with the police force, Zion. You may be wrong because that's why I started by saying people should make formal complaints to the police. We have a caller winner in Rumigbo. Good morning to you, please.
Jude, good morning.
Yes.
Sorry, I wanted to contribute on the area of kidnapping aspect.
Well, we're looking at missing persons, but I think they're kind of very close. So what do you have to say? Let me hear you, please.
Okay, I wanted to say that in terms of this kidnapping of the team, the government are trying, not necessarily police, they are all human beings. We, the citizens, you also help them because if for instance, if I'm saying I know kind of neighbor I have, what you be doing, and the kind of move making whatever. You should expect every time come to wash whatever. What is our most and what does the one of that governor or every to help the government to my issues of now
another means to catch him prime the telecom networks numbers. These should vigilant groups equipped with a babao. I'm not making sense of me. Let me say again. These kidnappers and killers living amongst us, among another means to catch and reduce this crime is for telecommunications networks to track their numbers. These communities should also have vigilante groups, and they should be more equipped with a babalawo, aka doctor, a shaman, a jalan, to tackle it just like in the past. That's George. Now, I have to ask this question because it's just opened a very interesting line of conversation. Because we often hear, this is you Christian Muslims, you often hear the conversation, village people can vote abroad. I remember when we heard they will use a queue. Now, if it's possible, why are Babalaos being consulted to help find missing persons? Why do you wait for for James become a mommy, then you use the look at him. Somebody is missing. There should be, please, if Babala, you have the power. This cost at the info 0872300019203. Send us a message 089030416. If you have to use a mirror to find person they can found anywhere in the world, people tag at them and hang them. They should be to help find missing people in state. Musa, good morning, Musa. Welcome, one please.
Resorting to Babalawo is like going back to the Stone Ages.
Is it now?
We don't.
If Babalawo can find Mufasa in his village and say, Mufasa, I will give him mosquito bite, they should want to find missing people.
With the number of Babalawos that we have in this country, how come we are seeing crimes?
That's the question.
Proliferating everywhere. So let us not be, trivializing these matters. Mind you, is this in Babalawo that these kidnappers, they go to equally get chance and protection? So they're moving around in circles. We have, security operatives that have been set up by law and by the society to ensure that crimes and criminality are minimized to a large extent. But we we as a people, we have a very great role to play in this regard, especially when the caller make reference to knowing who your neighbors are. These kidnappers don't even take their victims to the bushes anymore. If you could still remember the time, I think it was this year or last year that the police busted a certain kidnapped gang living within the people in Rumekini about. Yes, they were saying more people in a common, even forest or in bushes. And people these guys go and buy, food, bread and all of that, and they just give to be normal. People just feel that the best way to live these days is minding your business. You see your neighbor who you cannot even tell the source of income, driving expensive cars and living ostentatious living, whereas that person has kept some persons in his house, where he, demand ransom, for them to, be released to the public. So for me, I think the people have much role to play in this regard.
Okay.
When you see somebody moving suspiciously around your vicinity, around to get, food, bread, and all of that, I think it's really proper that you alert the security operative. But like what Ida rightly said, you that is going to even inform the police, you're not even sure, of your protection, because it gets to the point where these people who have so much money begin to ask, who can report us to now? And some of these police people could just, easily say, you don't know so and so person. It was the person that came to report you guys to us. And these guys, they have a way of even finding their way out of, policemen. And when they come out from the police station, they come for you. So for me, it's just like, a marathon that is unending, But then again, Jude, conclusively, we should use digital techniques to fight digital crime. The police can adopt more of this, their tracking device.
Yes.
They should make good use of, some of this equipment like this intelligence and surveillance center that was, recently donated to them, and see how to track these people. These people, they make calls, they go to the bank, they collect ransom, they have people, they send message, they have people, they send errands. You can track these people. You don't rely on, on a mundane, this ancient method, like somebody was, profiling Babalawo and all of that. Let us see how we can get ourselves updated with modern techniques and technology to fight crime and criminality. I think with that, we can be able to reduce crime to the barest minimum in the society.
All right, thank you very much, Mufasa. Now, in some parts of Abuja, CCTV camera is installed and routed to the police office, though the service attracts extra payments to the police. Oh, interesting. The other thing hindering our country's our security success is the level of corruption among the police. If they are dedicated to their duties, it will reduce to minimal. Also, CCTV can be installed in strategic locations, which can force the culprits to pass a road there and they can be apprehended. Anyanwu says, Anyanwu Jonathan from Eche community in Eche local government area, says, I slightly blame the police because police will allow their men to remain in the particular station for more than 5 years. And by then they must have gotten familiar with these boys there and the boys will no longer be afraid of them. Interesting. Anyway, well, it's not pleasing to get to read comments like this. There's a lot of doubts, and I do believe a lot of work needs to be done in improving, the confidence in the police. But please, community should be involved in fishing out these criminals.
Any motor where you they drive,